Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 3-0 Take, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Welcome back to the 3-0 Take, presented by SeatGeek. This is episode 356. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin, and I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes. Nate.
Hello. Hello. So I got, Paige and I got a little nostalgic yesterday and went over to Olive Garden. First time in years. See that on the story?
And that wasn't even the highlight of the evening.
It was not. But
no.
I don't know if highlight is the right word. You go to...
Olive Garden certainly a highlight for sure.
You go to Olive Garden. You get your breadsticks and salad.
And then you just walk out.
You get an entree each. One glass of wine each. What would you pay for that?
Unlimited breadsticks and salad, one entree each, and one glass of wine. You're just saying, like, on the night, what would I pay?
Mm-hmm. Like having the mentality of like what Olive Garden is. You know what I mean? Like what category Olive Garden is. What would you pay for that?
The wine 50 before tip, 50, 60, somewhere in there.
$75 before tip.
Really?
How insane is that, dude?
You're saying like that's too much.
That's too much for Olive Garden.
Yeah. Okay.
I was telling Paige this. I was like, Olive Garden is like Outback, Chili's, Applebee's.
Yeah.
That's that category. You should be able to take your family out and be like, if you had a family of 4, you should be under $100, no problem. 2 people for $75 before tip? That's insane.
Yeah, it's the Italian Applebee's.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm like, no. There's like super really good Italian right by us that is just delicious. Same price. And it's like authentic, homemade, back of house noodles being made for you. Same price. It's absurd. Olive Garden,
bro.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
The audacity.
Breadsticks and salad is $10, by the way. It's unlimited.
Well, it's unlimited.
It's unlimited. But like, how many can you really cram down your gullet?
A lot.
I had 4 breadsticks.
I value unlimited breadsticks and salad a heck of a lot. Like, I hold it with high regard a heck of a lot more than I do like a souvenir soda at a ball game, because it's like,
understood.
How many 30, what is it, like 35 ounce sodas are you going to be able to go through in a single sitting?
It's a good point.
It's kind of insane if you really think about it. Like, sure, unlimited refills. How many times are you really going to go back? Breadsticks and salad,
I think that's what they're thinking.
You can put it back.
We ate it and it was okay. I wasn't like, I had the pasta and I was like, all right, like, eh. But then we went to Scoop Wells and
no, we Scoopswell. No,
Scoop Wells.
I always say Scoopswell because it makes more sense, I guess.
Yeah, Scoop Wells.
Scoopswell. Okay, Scoop Wells. Yeah.
Got myself a little peanut butter square sitting in the fridge right now. That Rice Krispie treat thing. Ooh,
part of me.
I got the Snickerdoodle sandwich last night.
Nice,
by the way.
Nice
hit.
Yeah, a little part of me dies every time I see that because I kind of want to be back out there. If you have no idea what we're talking about, go watch our World Baseball Classic vlog. Shout out Scoop Wells.
Yeah,
the GOAT.
Yeah,
the absolute GOAT. Let's talk baseball.
Okay.
That's what we do here. Let's just start right off the top with this Blue Jays-Yankees series. Ugh. Or I should say Yankees-Blue Jays series. That's a big pet peeve of mine. referring to the home team second.
Okay. That's
right?
understandable.
Is that normal?
Sure. I don't really think of it that way. I think I always put my team first. So, like, if you ask me the score, I'm going to say, like, my team's score first, whether we're up or losing. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to say them first.
Yeah, that I'll do. But in terms of,
Location-wise,
like a presentation or, like, you're previewing a series, I'm going home team second. That's normal, I think. Yeah.
Yanks-Jays, Jays-Yanks. Depends on whatever comes off the tongue. A little easier for you.
This is the Yanks-Jays series. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Glad we got that cleared up. So the Blue Jays have an opportunity to split the series tonight. Game 4 is tonight, Thursday. But that isn't even really the talking point here. We have a lot to unpack. Aaron Judge, going back to, I think it was Monday, Tuesday. Those back-to-back nights. The Monday was the night that he was accused of cheating. By this point, you probably are familiar with what happened exactly. Started Monday with the home run. Is that correct? And then the allegations came following the first home run? Well, I say allegations, but it was
the at-bat of the second home run.
Of the second home run, right.
Mm-hmm.
Goes ahead and hits another home run. And then all the dust starts getting kicked up. And then he comes back on Tuesday night and hits a home run. But it's what he was being accused of is what I just cannot get over. How many times do we have to have this conversation? The relaying of signs is not illegal.
Right.
We might be at a point in time where there's more people. I guess
this is a non-story, and like it has to be a story. I
Right.
don't want to cover this. I don't think you want to cover this.
No, I hate it. But I think we might be at a point in time now, and this is, I guess, consequence is the right word to use. A consequence of trying to attract these casuals to the game, and I use that very intentionally. Casuals, people that didn't really like baseball. We talked about this. People that Manfred's trying to draw to the game that really aren't going to stick around for the long term, but they like the flash. They like the this, the that. These are the people that are the loudest right now about this particular scenario. They say, "Oh, I saw so many posts being like with the sideways eye emoji, like the, yo, is Aaron Judge cheating?" No, he's looking down the first base line to pick up a potential sign from his, or some sort of indicator from his first base coach telling him what pitch is coming. And you go, "Well, that's cheating." It's not cheating.
Yeah.
If you've ever played baseball at any level to where signs are given, which is most levels, if you have the ability to pick up the sign or pick up what's coming based on whether or not the pitcher's tipping or the catcher behind the plate is getting careless, because not a lot of people realize the Blue Jays aren't using PitchCom. They're, or at least in that instance, they're not using PitchCom.
Yeah.
And so they're just going the old-fashioned route. If the catcher gets lazy, if the pitcher's tipping, which we found out to be the case from Jay Jackson, he said it after the fact, said he was tipping pitches. That's not cheating. That's whatever you want to call it, gamesmanship. That's a facet of the game. It's a skill of the game.
Right.
Like people, like I saw some reasonably rational-minded thinking people about this in the comments being like, yeah, like I played in high school, I played in college, and I didn't play, so my role was to sit on the bench and literally just sit there and try to decipher signs.
Seriously.
And then once you get that edge, if you're successful, we literally in college had a guy writing on a piece of paper every sequence that the coach was giving. And we're like the Navajo code talkers over there, like trying to break the sequence and figure out what exactly is going down.
Yeah.
That's not illegal. That's not cheating. To your point, this is a non-story.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane that, so first off, I'm trying to decide how I feel about Judge's comments, because his comments post-game were Boone just got tossed. Yanks are up 6-0 during this conversation. And Judge says like he's hearing chirping from the dugout. And he doesn't, he was like, I'm not a huge fan of us being in that position, and you guys are chirping the umpire, because there was a couple low strikes called that weren't strikes. And I don't want to say that I'm not calling him a liar. He might have been paying attention to that, but I would probably agree with the fact that the eyes specifically were to the first base coach that obviously was being able to pick certain things up. I think I'm not going to beat around the bush. I think that's what was happening. Judge is basically a Derek Jeter level, with media. He's excellent at answering questions without answering questions.
Well, I think he could have, I'm not going to sit here and try to like hyper analyze what he said, but I think maybe a slight difference there between Jeter and Judge is that Jeter would have just found a way to defer or
probably
figure out another route of conversation. Yeah. But Judge just straight up was like, yeah, I was doing like, no, you weren't, dude. Like, we all know what you were doing.
It's hard to say. I don't know. We don't know. I think it's more of I really didn't like the Blue Jays side of it. I think the Blue Jays screaming at coaches and like their pitching coach or their bench coach, whoever that was, just like running up the dugout and yelling at Luis Rojas the next game. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
So Luis Rojas is a third base coach.
Yeah.
The argument is that like no base coach stays in that box. Like, no base coach stays in that box, especially when you have runners on. As a third base coach, if there's a runner on second, you kind of work yourself closer to home plate and probably a little bit deeper away from the foul line, closer to the dugout. So that way you're in line with the vision of that base runner who is trying to score. So that base runner is a little bit deeper in the base path. He's closer to like where a shortstop would play double play depth. And so that way, as he's rounding and he's coming around third base, he has a perfect line of sight with that third base coach to either shut him down or wave him on to score. That is normal. Nobody, and I mean nobody, not a single team pays attention to those coach boxes. Nobody does.
Including the Blue Jays. That's you have John Schneider talking about it after the game, and they are asking his thoughts, and he goes, well, I hope like the league will start paying attention and making sure that the coaches are where they need to be. Your own tell your coaches that then.
Seriously.
Tell your staff, John.
Yeah.
What a stupid response.
The next day, Boone comes out and he's like, what about your guys? What about your guys? Your guys aren't in the box. This is a non-story, and the Blue Jays are just being soft. Your pitcher was tipping. That's your problem. That's your fault. No one else's.
Shout out Jay Jackson for just like essentially
admitting it,
but essentially throwing his team under the bus because they're trying to like make this story. They're trying to point to like coaches. They're trying to blame Judge.
Yeah.
And Jay Jackson's like, I don't know what y'all are looking at. I was tipping pitches. This is on me. Like, y'all can figure it out. But I know what I did, and it was not good.
And then got sent down the next day, by the way.
Yeah, not great, but still.
And no one's talking about the cement mixer slider that he hung to Judge. That ball was doing nothing but just floating in the middle of the zone. So I don't want to hear. It's not like he busted off some crazy pitch that started at his shoulders and came back and broke across. That was a bad slider. That was an open slider. So go do your thing. Not to mention, this guy knows how to hit home runs. So it's like, whether he was using that first base coach as a tip or not, I don't think it really matters because that slider sucked. Your guy was not doing that well. So And I think my favorite part, I know you're not a big John Boy guy, but how he does the lip reading and Schneider's like yelling, and he's yelling at somebody at the Yankee side, like, shut up, fat boy. And I'm like, hang on. Take a look in your own dugout before you call anybody on the other side fat boy, okay? You got a lot of fatties over there. A whole lot of fatties. So I don't need to be seeing that either, Schneider. The Blue Jays just need to just be better.
Jays,
they just need to be better. Let's be honest.
I woke up today knowing that I was going to be coming to the defense of the Yankees, and it didn't feel good. But at the expense of the Jays, I'm okay. I hate the Jays so much.
Just be tougher.
Dude.
Like, you were mentally not tough. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. No, but what I was saying, I realized that I don't think I completed this thought. I think we're at a point now, going back to this whole non-story aspect. I think we're at a point now where we have so many casual baseball fans being drawn to the game that it's becoming so clear, so evident who actually understands the sport, who's actually played the sport, and who hasn't. Because if you did, this story would not have taken off. Like, if the majority of people in the sport, in the world of baseball, understood that this is 100% a legitimate, legal method of approaching your strategy, this would not have blown up. But we have people who don't. They see sign stealing and they go, "Yo, is this like the 2023 version of the Astros? Like, what do we got going on here?"
They're so ready to find it.
Yeah, and like, I get it with what happened with the Astros. You're just kind of looking for this kind of stuff now, and you're just waiting to pounce. But like, it's 100% legal. It's part of the game. It's been part of the game, and regardless how you feel about the pitch comm, this has always been a reality and a possibility for teams, or a consequence, I should say, for teams that use the old-fashioned methods. Like, this is what happens.
I think it's more of being able. I think what the Blue Jays are arguing is the depth of that first base coach to be able to see a grip in the gloves, in the hands, in the glove, right? Like, to be able to see the pitch grip and then relay that message. But that's no different from a base runner being on second. That's no different from a guy who just swiped a bag and he comes back to the dugout and says, "Hey, when you're on second, he's a 2-1,000 set and go." You know what I mean? Like, there's no difference to any of these things. It's just paying attention to the details of the game.
And to your point, there's probably, and I'm not like pointing fingers, but there's probably people that hear 2-1,000 set and go and have no clue as to what you're talking about.
Right.
And these are the people that are going, "Yo, Judge is like, we might as well just lump him in there with Altuve and Correa and Bregman at this point." Like, no,
it's crazy, dude.
Like, and credit to a lot of people in the industry. I saw a lot of posts talking about how, like, we could have used this example or this situation to teach people about, like, the intricacies of the game. But instead, people were just quick to outrage. They wanted to jump the gun. They wanted to jump to conclusions. And here we are talking about, or making a story out of a non-story. Instead,
it's the art of competition. It really is. Like, you go to other sports. I freaking loved Luke Kuechly. He was one of my favorite linebackers to ever watch. And if you ever see clips of him playing, that dude would sit there and look and yell out the other team's plays. And the other team has admitted to it. Other players are like, Luke Kuechly knows. I don't know how, but he knows. When you study these things and these guys are watching film over and over and over again, to pick up any small advantage, don't give them the advantage. Don't tip. That simple.
Like, call me boring and bland, but if I'm somebody who's, again, going back to this situation where you've got a baseball fan who's on the fence about the sport, like, is this something I kind of want to get interested in, want to follow long term? To me, I would find it far more interesting to have somebody sit me down and go, "All right, you see what's happening in this game tonight?
100%.
Let me tell you about the art of sign stealing legally. Let me tell you about how there's likely code breakers, like that role assigned to various people in that dugout, and they are sitting here as we speak trying to decipher what's going on in the other dugout, what's going on the field. Instead of, Aaron Judge, they must be doing some sort of electronic science, or he's doing something with his eyes. Where's he looking? Is there a trash can in the dugout?
Yeah.
Like,
Shut up.
it's not. That just doesn't do anything for me at this point, especially having already gone through this for years with the Yankees.
Right.
No interest.
Give me it. I know you got a great transition. Give it. Come on.
What? Speaking of trash?
Speaking of, I was gonna say speaking of cheating, but
speaking of cheating,
both of those.
Well, it's hard for me to make that transition because in my head right now,
cheating,
I'm so far the opposite end of that spectrum right now with this. I hate the Blue Jays so much. John Schneider, I didn't have an opinion about him before this. Now I do. Yeah. And now I'm like, this guy might be the worst manager in baseball. Like,
Shut up, fat boy. Who are you talking? Vlad is on your side. You're looking the wrong way. Kirk is on your side. Fat boy. Manoah, another one. Just add them all to the mix.
Danny Jansen's a little beefy.
Yeah. Ugh. The guy's freaking Ted Williams when it comes to playing the Yankees, dude.
Yeah,
trash against everybody else.
Yeah, speaking of trash, Domingo German, what dude? Get this guy away.
The day after your team is having to fend off all these questions from reporters about cheating, you come out and do this. Idiot.
All right, let's put our tinfoil hats on here. Do you think that there was any element of the Yankees looking at this and going, we got to get this spotlight off our golden boy. We're going to freaking DFA Domingo anyway at some point or another. Let's throw him to the wolves. Let's roll him out there with what looks like maple syrup on his pants and just let it eat. Do you think there's any element of that? Because there's no way that he goes out there thinking, no, like this is fine. This will pass. Look, what are you doing?
Bias aside, I'm trying to understand how this happens without the knowledge of any coaches. How does this happen without anyone else saying, no, go clean that off? You got your bullpen coach pregame. You got your bench coach. You got your manager. You got your pitching coach. You have your first and third base coaches. You have 7 coaches around you throughout the beginning or entrance of a game and then during a game. And I understand certain pitchers will go and sit off on their own side. But I'm trying to figure out, and again, like bias aside, did someone see this and just let it slide? Because like I don't see how it happens without someone seeing it. How does a teammate not step in? A Rizzo would step in. You know what I mean?
Right, but who's really checking that though? Like that closely? Like, sure, it was obvious.
I don't know how the guy's
fact.
doing it. I mean, there's no clips of anything, and like obviously these guys kind of go. I'm wondering if there's going to be a limitation of how often a guy can go in and out of a clubhouse. Like, I'm wondering if they like lock the doors at a certain point. You know, that's the only way he's doing this, right?
Right, but I don't know if they necessarily need to enforce that, because if you're doing every inning checks, like I don't know.
That's true.
You'd be an idiot, like Domingo, to do the check. At what point in his outing did it happen? I missed that. Like where at in the game?
It was early. I think it was like second inning.
Okay.
Yeah, because the Yankees had to figure it out with the bullpen the rest of the way out. It was
because you have to get the check going into the game.
And that's the other part of it. That's the other selfish part of it. That's what pissed me off the most, is because like this guy has caused just so many problems, so many issues. And this is just selfish. Like, your bullpen's already taxed. I think they're playing like 32 games in 33 days or something like that. Your bullpen is already beaten up. We're already unhealthy. And then you go and do this. So not only do you have your 10-game suspension, but you just screwed over your bullpen for arguably the rest of this series and maybe even the next one. And it's so small-minded. On top of the domestic violence stuff that this idiot has done, like, when are we done? When is this over? When are the Yankees just like, we're done with you? You're not doing anything good. You're not providing. It's not like he's lights out when he starts.
Well, we talked about this with Hicks. The Yankees clearly have a pride issue when it comes to cutting ties with guys that they, at one point or another, believed in.
I don't get it.
Like, at what point do you just cut ties with somebody, regardless how much you're paying him, regardless how much potential you see in him? At what point do you cut ties after he's cost you games? He's cost you negative publicity.
I miss George. This is all I can. I miss George.
I don't blame you for that.
Because, like, as abrasive as he could be at times, he made things happen. And that is like that's just like you just taking the Yankee logo and smearing it, dude, and just not caring. George would have been like, you're gone. You're out. Hicks would have been gone weeks ago. I'm done with Cashman. I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm done. I'm done with Cashman. I'm not going to flip-flop. I'm not going back and forth.
No.
I've never said this before. I've been like on the fence about Cashman. I am officially done with Cashman. Boone, I'm more done with Cashman than I am Boone. But they're a package deal.
Yeah. You'll be back.
Yeah, they'll both probably be back for a 3-year deal.
No, you'll be back.
Oh. No.
You'll be back on Cashman.
No.
For sure.
Too many bad deals.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Would you be back on Cashman if he brought Danny Jansen across the
I know, right? Sheesh.
Because game 3 of the series last night.
What a duel, though. What a great game.
3-run walk-off.
That was a 0-0 game, dude. Both Cole and Bassett, Bassett really dealt. We went to dinner, but I think he was at 75 pitches through 6, something like that. Efficient and solid.
And this is fresh off his CG shutout last outing.
And you don't see that a lot. You don't see a bounce back.
No.
That's solid, dude. Bassett's got something.
And that was against the Braves, and now he bounces back against the Yankees.
Yeah, it's not like he's doing it against the Reds and Royals or something. He's doing it.
Yeah, good for Bassett, man.
Yeah,
but yeah, game 4 opportunity for the Jays to split the series tonight.
Barrios and Nestor.
Maybe a little
2 guys that probably could afford a bounce back start.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So,
let's look at some noteworthy performances, shall we?
Yeah.
Kodai Senga.
Ooh.
12 Ks.
Against who?
Against the best team in baseball.
Whoa, dude.
The Tampa Bay Rays.
That's my NL Rookie of the Year pick.
Sure is. That was a wild game. Was that? No, that wasn't.
I think it's a Polar Pete walk-off, yeah.
Was it last night?
I think so.
Don't call him Polar Pete.
Pete.
We're not on Pete Alonso like that. We're not.
Peter? I'll call him Peter.
Peter. He's very much a Peter. Yeah.
He's a Peter.
Yeah, coming around.
Did you see the flex?
Yeah, dude. The flex around first, the MFer around third. You're not that guy, dude.
Yeah, Peter. Slow down.
Come on, Peter. How many times we got to say it? You are a machine at the plate. I will not deny you that. But you are not that guy.
I think Peter goes to Long John Silver's regularly. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys.
I mean, look, I'm not a Pete Alonso guy, but I'm not going to throw somebody under the bus like that.
I think he loves Long John Silver's.
Okay. That's quite a dig.
Sorry,
that's
Peter.
Quite a dig to take at somebody.
Yeah, well, someone had to say it,
It's gonna be Nate, of course. But yeah, Pete Alonso. That was a you talk about back and forth game. That was truly a back and forth game. The Mets got a little nugget here. The Mets hit 3 home runs tonight in the 7th inning or later, went down by 2+ runs to tie the game or take the lead. The only team over the past 50 seasons to do that in the same game. Because you had the Mark Vientos 2-run home run in the 7th. You had the Francisco Alvarez 3-run home run with 2 outs in the 9th, and then obviously Pete Alonso in the 10th. What sucks is this was Pete Fairbanks' return from the IL. This was his first outing, and I knew because I picked him up while he was on the IL for fantasy. Yeah. And I just knew. I said, you know what? This there's no scenario in which this ends well. Way too much rust. And if I had the game pulled up and I was watching him. He had his hand in his back pocket. I'm like, you got to come into
you're a little chilly.
A chilly game, your first game back. That's not fun. So I didn't know Pete was gonna go yard when the inning started, but I'm like, yeah.
Peter versus Pete.
Peter versus Pete. Yeah, I didn't think that was ending well. So all I have to say.
Point Peter.
Did you know Pete Alonso, another nugget?
Who?
Peter Alonso has hit the last 4 walk-off home runs for the Mets.
I won't say it. He ain't clutch. I'm not saying it.
I mean, I'll say
he's got like 15 jacks though, doesn't he?
He's up there. It was like 12, 13. Let's take a peek here. Is it 15 already? I don't think.
Do you think you can type in Peter in Baseball Reference? They would understand.
His name is Pete. Oh, he does have 15. Sure does.
Oh no, it's Peter for sure. Or Long John. That's the only way I'm referring to him now.
I mean, his full name is Peter Morgan Alonso.
There you go.
So you're not wrong in calling him Peter. Like, this isn't just a thing where his parents are like, no, like it'll be Pete. Like,
but he's one of those guys that would probably be a little butthurt about that if you called him Peter.
For sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 15. No, I'll say it, dude. Alonso's clutch, but my sticking point with Alonso with Peter is that he's not this MFer around third base. He's not that guy.
You're a dad bod that can hit baseballs. Just stop.
Just embrace it, man. Yeah. That's all you got to do.
Just be that guy.
Be the Bartolo Colon of position players, and people will love you even more for it.
Yeah. Crush beers. Like that's his move. You know what I mean? That's his thing. You need to be like that guy. You're just like a frat star dad bod guy.
Which he did, didn't he? Didn't he like do what was that? He like, was it at the All-Star game or something? He was like smashing, or the home run derby maybe. He was like smashing Gatorade bottles or something and doing the double fisting. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I think he's done that before. So he's tinkered with it a little bit.
Did it with Gatorade? That's a bold move.
Well, he's not going to do it with beer out on the home
do
run
with
derby
water
field.
Though.
It may have been water. It may have been.
Luke Voigt has that. I hope he's still doing his thing in Milwaukee. I've got to be honest. I haven't looked in the Brewers and since Nam, but I think he does that celebratory. You know, when he hits
or
one
maybe
home run
that's
a
what
month.
I'm thinking of.
I think it's Luke Voigt.
I think Peter did it as well. But yeah, just full on embrace it, Peter. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Sticking in the NL East here, Taijuan Walker, dude. Big time struggle bus. First 9 starts with the Phillies. He's thrown 41 in the third. He's allowed 43 hits, 30 earned runs. He's got an ERA of 6.53, 19 walks, a whip of 1.5, and only 39 strikeouts. And he is in the first year of his 4-year, $72 million contract.
Just a horrible decision on that contract.
You could pay me 18 a year to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I could probably put up similar numbers.
Yeah. Taijuan ain't it, dude. I don't think he was it ever at any point. Never saw it.
He's got that Mets rub,
18
man.
a year for a he's at best a 5th starter.
I mean, give him at least 4th. At least 4th, dude. He could be a 4 starter somewhere else around the league.
Near the A's.
Okay, well, again, not a Major League Baseball team. We just talked about that last episode.
Fair. That doesn't count. Yeah. Trash.
No, but like 18, I get it. Like
trash.
New city, I understand.
Whatever.
It takes time. Look at Trey. Look, a guy on his team. Look at Trey. It takes him a while to get settled. I'm not saying he's Trey Turner.
He's bad in Toronto. He's bad in New York too.
He had his moments in New York.
What was he there? 2 years? 3 years? I will say he was there 2 years.
I think it was 3.
Is he still wearing 99?
It was 2.
Yes.
Well done.
Thanks.
99. 99 with the Phillies. Little known fact here, he donned number 44 in Seattle back in 2016. Only to have years later the face of the franchise come through and snag it. There's a little trivia for your next social gathering.
Should be never.
Joe Ryan, a guy that we were talking about before we got on air, his last outing against the Cubs, which I believe was Saturday, 6 innings, no runs, 10 Ks. But that's not exactly anything to write home about. Like, that's a great outing for sure. But it's really what he's just done all year that I don't think is getting talked about enough, especially with Sonny Gray out there. He'll be getting the start Friday against the Angels. And as I was saying, what's really being talked about here is the fact that, or what should be getting talked about is the fact that he's 5th in Cy Young voting right now, according to multiple outlets.
Got him on the squad too. I like it. Big fan.
Shout out Joe Ryan. We talked about this particular individual last episode, but then he went on to keep doing what he was doing. Nolan Arenado finished his home run streak at 5. It's pretty good. Safe to say Nolan's back.
And 1,000th RBI.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Good for Nolan, man.
He's going to stack up, dude. This is a guy that you're going to watch the rest of his career and you're going to be like, another milestone, another milestone, another milestone. And he's going to have like 18 gold gloves. So,
look, I didn't want to bring this up, but I feel like we probably should. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen a lot more than I probably would have hoped to ever see at this point in their respective careers. But I'm seeing a lot of people talking about how Ke'Bryan Hayes is a better third baseman than Nolan Arenado based on the defensive metrics. And I'm going, okay, while that may be true, because I keep seeing people throw Nolan under the bus saying, well, at this point it's just a popularity contest, and it's one of those situations where he just racks up the gold gloves because it's Nolan Arenado. I go, what is that supposed to mean? Well, just because it's Nolan Arenado. This isn't some schmuck that we're dealing with here. This is Nolan Arenado. Okay?
we're talking about, I mean, he's going to be a top 5 defensive third baseman ever.
I mean,
Ever.
Can we not, like, is it a...
Maybe top 3.
I was going to say, is this a stretch to go top 3 with Nolan? Until Ke'Bryan Hayes can put the full package together, it's not a conversation worth having.
You remember when Chapman, everyone would have this conversation with Matt Chapman a couple years ago. It was like, oh, okay, like, good. But you're not Nolan.
He's not Nolan.
Ke'Bryan Hayes. Get out
And
of
like
here,
with
man.
Ke'Bryan Hayes. Look,
I hope he has, I like him. I hope he does well in Pittsburgh. But he ain't that guy yet.
He can hopefully be an integral piece of that progress that they're making moving forward. But you're not Nolan. Not that guy. Another guy that's been swinging it real well, Ronald Acuña Jr. He is in the midst of a 4-game homer streak. Buster Olney on Twitter put out.
Where's he at on the year?
I don't know, but he's. Didn't we look at this? What's his 40-40?
I want 50-50 out of
He's
him
not
now.
doing. No, he's not getting 50-50.
He's at 11 home runs.
Yeah, I don't know. He's not getting 50-50.
He's at 18 stolen bases.
40-40. 40-40 for sure. Buster only put these numbers out on Twitter today. In terms of his ranks, he leads all of baseball with 40 runs, leads all of baseball with hits with 58, leads all of baseball in slugging at 613, leads all of baseball in OPS at 1.051, and leads all of baseball in total bases at 103. In terms of the National League, he's first in adjusted OPS plus at 181, and he, as you indicated, has 18 steals, which is first in the National League.
Who won the NL MVP last year?
Goldschmidt.
And he was kind of just pretty much had it by May.
Well,
Didn't he?
it was
Wasn't
him and
he-
Nolan. It was
him and Machado were like,
yeah,
but then
him-
Machado got hurt.
Yeah, and then Nolan kind of tailed
Nolan
off.
came in.
Goldie pulled it out.
I mean, he's gonna be up there. I think
Is this year he does it?
Yeah, dude, it might be. Because I mean, I don't think people understand. I mean, he's hitting 345. He's putting all of it together. All of it. Not just pop. Not just on base. He's putting all of it together. Goodness. I think he gets it. I think he's going to do it.
This might
It's
be the
early
year.
to say that. Just stay healthy.
Stay healthy, Ronald.
Stay on this pace.
That's asking a lot. But
Are we a quarter of the way through? How many games in are we? Are we over a quarter? We're over a quarter. You
how
gotta
many
be
games have we played?
47 games, 48 games, something like that.
I got you. Stand by.
Okay.
44, 45.
All right, so just past a quarter. Okay, and he's at 11 home runs. 18 swipes. I think the only thing that's going to get in way of the stolen bases are the amount of home runs he hits because he can't stop at first.
What a
running.
tough problem to have, man.
Tough, real tough.
Real tough. The Dodgers, just a little note here, give them some love, have won 50. I know we talked Dodgers Padres a lot, real heavy last episode or two, but just worth noting, Dodgers have won 15 of their last 18. Speaking of the Dodgers, however, let's transition into some injury news here. Tough break for Dustin May. He'll be heading to the IL, has a flexor pronator strain, which I definitely know what that is, and will miss at least 4 to 6 weeks.
Honestly, I'm starting to feel really bad for this guy because he has stuff. He has stuff to be really good, and I'm just waiting to see it unleashed. You see that picture in the dugout where it's just him sitting on the bench. He's just got his head down, like in his hands. You're like,
Very Kershaw-esque.
just feel for this guy. Like, it's getting to this point where it's like, dude, it sucks, man. Just give this guy. If you saw him for a full 162 and got his 34 starts in or whatever, I think you would see something special, but it's just like, man, cannot catch a break. Maybe cut the hair. I think it's time.
No, dude, he's got that's his.
I think
thing.
cut the lettuce.
No, but it's kind of like you can make the comp to like a Byron Buxton because I saw yesterday, or no, yesterday maybe the day before, that he had like, I think it was 46, 48 home runs in his last 162.
Yeah.
And all the people in the replies were like, so what, over like the last 4 years? And it's kind of the same. I'm not putting May on Buxton's level in that regard in terms of injuries or missing time or whatever, but
It's pretty
like,
similar.
I mean, yeah, like
We haven't seen that kind of dominance by
Right,
Dustin. I think
that's
it's
what I'm
just like these little flashes. I mean, I don't know. Just make him a closer. At what point are we going to understand that the longevity of a season may not be there anymore to be in the rotation? You know what I mean? Make him a closer. I'd be down. That. But I think, maybe cut the lettuce. See what superpowers you can unlock. We've all seen it before. Happens to the best of them.
I mean, if you're, and I use this term loosely, if you're a failed starter, and I don't mean that in terms of his performance, because we all see it. It's there. He's got the juice. But a failed starter in the sense of like you just can't make a full season work.
Mm-hmm.
To have the opportunity, and I'm not saying the Dodgers are talking about this or if they've even offered this to him, but the closer role down the road, to be able to transition into something like that would be a heck of an opportunity for him. And I feel like you would just want to embrace that. If you've come to terms with the fact that like this starter thing just doesn't work with my approach, my health, whatever. But if I had the chance to transition into a close role, because a lot of times you see guys like that, they transition to like a long relief role, something like that. But if they were like
once, twice a week, that's it. I think he's too good. I think he's too good to put in that role. Yeah.
So I don't know if the Dodgers have kicked that around, but might be something worth entertaining down the road. Jazz Chisholm will be out approximately 4 to 6 weeks with turf toe. Tough. Or should I say turf?
Do we know what turf toe really is?
I know about as much about turf toe as I do flexor pronator strain, if that tells you anything.
Why is it getting like the same time frame as like plantar fasciitis or something? You know what I mean? I didn't realize turf toe was that bad, but you're talking about an element of his game that makes him who he is, you know? Speed and athleticism is why he is who he is. It's tough.
I wanted to dunk on artificial turf, but then I just did a quick search, and you can apparently get turf toe on any surface, including grass, so wasn't the dunk that I thought it was going to be. But my point stands. Just get rid of the artificial turf.
Yeah. Poor Jazz. I'd like to see him do his thing eventually. Are we getting into MLB The Show curse at any point?
Shh. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it.
Do we have any other curses?
Turf toe is when the toe is forcibly bent up into hyperextension, such as when pushing off into a sprint and having the toe get stuck flat on the ground. Ugh.
Oh.
Yikes. Yeah, so if you Google, if you're listening at home.
I think I have that pretty much every morning when I wake up.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, once you hit 30, it's every day.
Yeah.
Just chronic turf toe.
Yeah.
No, but if you're at home
throughout
listening,
your body.
You Google turf toe, you'll see there should be a picture there, or you just go to Google Images, but you'll see exactly what it's talking about. And that does not look fun.
Maybe more pictures need to be broken down. You know, like I think more of these injuries need to be better understood. I don't think people understand baseball or even sports injuries enough. Yep. You know, I think maybe there's like something there. Maybe like MLB Network can have. I remember when ESPN had that chick that would break down NFL injuries, and it was actually like really cool to learn about it. I think it'd be nice if MLB Network did something similar to really help people understand like why TJ takes so long to recover from.
Yeah, give me a breakdown of TJ.
Like labrum issues, right? You know, like oblique. Oblique is a big injury. Like help people understand that a little bit better. So I think it would help. I think a lot of fans are pretty critical of athletes that get hurt without understanding it.
Yep.
I'm out here changing the world with my ideas. Not my execution. I'm not going to execute that. I'll go to med school if I need to, but I'd rather not.
Are you going to be the guy to give us a segment?
I'll do it. You want me to go to med school?
Let's put in a word with MLB Network, see if they'll bring you on.
All right. Do you think they'll pay for med school?
Probably not.
Nah.
Probably not. Let's see. Manny Machado diagnosed with a small fracture in his left hand after being hit with a pitch. What was the
I didn't even see it. I didn't even know about the injury until this morning. I was reading through stuff.
No, but have they announced what he's going to what time he's missing?
No, I don't think I didn't see anything. Is this just like, are the Padres just going to wake up from their nightmare anytime soon? This is worst case scenario.
Yeah, it really is. But look, like I said, I mean, you look at the two teams that I told you I believed in, the White Sox, who don't necessarily need to be playing out of their mind at this point in time because the season's long, the division sucks. But they've won 2 straight. You're 5-5 in your last 10. You're treading water. I said I believe in the White Sox. I still do. There's still time.
Boo.
And then not the Nationals, the Cardinals are 8-2 in their last 10.
There we go.
And they're on the up and up. The Reds aren't going to finish ahead of the Cardinals. Everybody knows that. And it's still early. I apply the same logic to the Padres. It's still early. That lineup is too talented to finish
without Machado.
Right. You're too talented to finish anything below second place, even in that division. Even with the D-backs doing what they're doing. It just doesn't, I don't know, man. It just doesn't make sense. It's a nightmare for sure, but it's early.
Figured out.
Corey Seager activated from the IL yesterday.
Yay!
I didn't see. Did he do anything of note in the game?
No, over 3, I think.
Love that. Yeah, so good news for Seager there. It's been a long time coming.
Got delayed, too. He had a little stomach bug.
Yeah, I saw that.
Sooner, but he had a little tummy ache.
That's tough.
Did you go to Mexico City?
That wasn't his debut, right? Like
No. He started. He broke
right.
camp.
Yeah. I don't know why I was struggling to remember whether or not that was how long ago that was. Jose Altuve, talking about season debut, is close to making his. He is recovering, for those who may have forgotten, because I certainly did. It had been a minute since I checked in on our good friend Jose Altuve. He is recovering from surgery for a fractured thumb back in March, which that was the WBC.
It was.
Right? I'm not crazy. Yeah, it was WBC in Miami.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you remember who hit him? I'll find it. You keep going.
I don't. Oh, I thought you were just going to drop that on me. The same way we're going to drop how to save $20. And it's SeatGeek. Nate, SeatGeek is the answer to all your ticket needs. Are you looking for tickets? You have plans of friends or family to make it to an upcoming game or concert? Or are you even looking months ahead to nail down a date to get tickets before they sell out? I guarantee you are. With SeatGeek, you can find tickets to games, concert shows, and even theater performances. Yes, theater performances with just a few easy clicks. We're making it even better for you if you are a first-time user of SeatGeek. Next time you add some tickets to your cart, use our promo code 30TAKE. That's our social handle, all caps, at
no
checkout.
Cap.
No cap on God. To save $20 instantly off your. Well, I didn't know you were gonna go all Gen Z on me right there. That's all you got to do to save $20 instantly off your first purchase as a first-time user. It's all you got to do to save some of that.
Cold hard Venmos.
Enter promo code 30TAKE. That's our social handle at checkout. On God, no cap.
All caps.
For real.
Yeah. It was Daniel Bard.
Tough.
Yeah.
Who was Bard with again?
USA.
Oh, that was the USA game.
Yeah.
I thought, for some reason, I remember this happening in pool play.
Mm-mm.
So this was after US had already made the way to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was like,
Oops.
was Daniel Bard not on Team USA? That makes sense. Okay.
Pretty forgettable performance with Team USA, but neither here nor there.
Yeah, we're not here to slander Daniel Bard at this particular point in time.
Yeah. We did everyone a solid. Did I say that? Whoa. Inside voice came out for a sec.
You want to go ahead and repeat what you just said?
No, I'm good. It slipped out. It's Thursday. Just a little loosey-goose on Thursday.
What did you
sometimes.
say?
I said, did everyone a solid?
Care to explain?
We're all thinking it. I think everyone gets it except you.
Clearly. Do you care to explain? Am I missing something here?
I'm not breaking this down.
Did everyone a solid by not slandering Daniel Bard?
No. Daniel Bard did everyone a solid.
Ah, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
There it is.
The puzzle pieces have connected.
We're all thinking it, okay?
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
We're all thinking it. I'm just able to say it. That's what I use my platform for. It's just saying, not to create change, not for positivity. Just say what everyone's thinking.
Just say what everyone's thinking. It could be positive. It could be the worst thing you've ever thought of in your life, but Nate's going to say it. You can count on that. Oh, man. Weekend series to watch. I've got the Dodgers and Cardinals. Game 1 is actually tonight, Thursday. You've got future Nate Reyes fantasy team starter Julio Urias versus Adam Wainwright.
It sucks that I won't have him.
Yeah.
For this start, so.
Yeah, it's tough.
Whole processing part.
Yep. Yeah, for
Look at us.
those who have no idea, Nate and I made a trade in the fantasy league, which just never happens.
Absurd.
It truly is like a Red Sox Yankees thing. You know how they just don't trade with each other really ever. That's kind of how it is with Nate and I. And Nate presented some pieces. I did the same. I brought some names to the table, and we made it work.
I think it was a win-win.
Why don't you just tell people what the trade was? Because I know they want to know.
No, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it.
You won the trade.
I think you won the trade.
I don't think I won the trade.
I gave you...
No. I got it.
I need to explain that I have no pitching, okay? I literally have Joe Ryan and Nestor Cortez. Those are my starters. That's it. The rest are like semi-closers that aren't really doing the closing job.
He also has Rodon on the IL, just for context.
And McCullers, hopefully.
And McCullers, but I'd rather have Rodon. So the trade was, I received Emmanuel Clase, Mookie Betts, and Trey Turner, who, might I add, is he's still playing a little poopy. He's not playing up to true Trey Turner
standards. That's a group, though. That's a group. For sure.
I
did a lot of hustling to get those three guys individually.
You did. You put a lot. That's a lot of hard hours.
A lot of manpower I put into that.
Into getting those guys.
Just gone now.
So I sent him Clase, Betts, and Turner.
No, I sent you.
Or he sent me Clase, Betts, and Turner. I sent him Francisco Lindor, Julio Urias, Masataka Yoshida, and George Kirby.
There you go.
That's a solid
return. I think it's a win-win. And for any of our companions in this league that are listening, Lindor is officially on the block. So hit me.
There you go. If you didn't know, you know now. Weekend series to watch. I got the Dodgers, Cardinals. Oh, we already did this. Game 1, Julio Urias, Adam Wainwright. Game 2, Friday, Tony Gonsolin versus Steven Matz. Game 3, Syndergaard versus friend of the pod, Miles Michaelis. Game 4, this will be a good one. Clayton Kershaw versus Jack Flaherty.
That starts tonight or tomorrow?
Game 1 is tonight, Thursday.
Yes. Okay, cool. So Sunday Night Baseball, did you pick it?
No, I checked. It's like a 2 p.m. something game.
I don't mind those. I don't mind those.
Sunday Night Baseball is the... Oh, who was it? Why do I think it was like Cleveland? Yeah, Cleveland and the Mets. So that's gonna be a good one, dude.
That's not bad.
Bieber and Verlander on the bump.
Ooh, okay. All right.
That's a good one.
That's not my series though.
Did I possibly get the... Oh no, Apple TV on Friday is Braves Mariners. So
My series.
This might be the first time in a while I've gone 0 for 2 on the primetime.
Yeah, good for you. I think I'm like 5 straight of the Apple Plus stupid series.
Apple TV Plus.
Yeah, whatever it is. Mariners visiting the Atlanta Bravos. It is Bryce Miller versus Bryce Elder. Battle of the Bryces. Game 1. Game 2, nobody knows for the Bravos. And Logan Gilbert going for the Mariners. And then George Kirby versus Charlie Morton to finish up the series. Good little series. Good test. I find that when a team is struggling or not necessarily playing up to the standards, like a Mariners, I find that when they go and play somebody that's tough, it kind of gets this going a little bit. You're like, all right, we need to buck up.
We play up to the competition.
Yeah, so maybe no matter how this series goes, I think it'll be a tough series, but maybe you'll see the Mariners go on a little bit of a run after this one. And I like that. I'm cool with that. So, yeah.
It's a great point, Nate. It's a great point. Closing the book here. Look, sad to say, but R.I.P. to another bird. Did you see this?
Oh, the Zach Gallen?
Zach Gallen, another Diamondbacks pitcher, decides to... Yeah, there's something going on.
That bird wasn't alive. That was a spy. It was a government spy that got hit.
Yeah, you guys remember, did we do the bird for our 3-0 fake conspiracy series, our mini series back?
Sure did.
Did we do the birds?
Sure did.
We did do the birds. Yeah, so if you saw this news come across your phone, you're probably going, oh, that's sad. But in reality...
Was it a pigeon? Did we find that out?
I don't think so.
I don't like pigeons. The other birds don't bother me. Pigeons freak me out because you never see baby pigeons. They're always full grown. They're fat as hell. So what's that about? U.S. government.
I'm definitely going to make that a clip.
We should get some tinfoil in here.
Yeah, I love that.
Can we get a tinfoil sponsorship? Work on that.
Reynolds
aluminum foil.
Reynolds aluminum foil. How about it? No free
Did
ads.
they still make it tin? Is tin aluminum? Are those the same homies? I don't think they are.
Don't think they were ever.
I think they're different on the periodic table. When's the last time you used tin foil to save your leftovers? It's always aluminum.
That's something that I didn't even realize until
not
just
enough
now.
people are talking about it.
Wow.
Yeah. You're welcome.
So look, you have Nate here saying what's on everybody's mind and also saying what literally nobody's thinking about.
You got to hit both sides of the spectrum.
Speaking of which, do you have that before I get to my last point for closing the book?
What?
I forgot. You said you had a sick what they're not talking about.
I do, bro. A little tearjerker for you.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Should I finish closing the book even though I'm supposed to do that last?
You should.
Okay. Last thing. Jeff Passan put out on Twitter today, spoke with White Sox closer Liam Hendricks, who is headed to Chicago this week following a AAA rehab less than 6 months after he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. The plan is for him to throw live BP on Friday, and should it go well, he'll pitch in the big league soon thereafter. So just a little update on our guy Liam. Didn't want to lump him in the injury segment because this is certainly greater than that.
Yeah.
Much more significant of a comeback for our guy Liam. So looking forward, as we've been saying, looking forward to that return happening. But usually I'll close the book, but since we forgot, let's flip it to Nate real quick, and then we'll get out of here.
For the very first time, this is groundbreaking. I'm using TikTok as a source of my what they're not talking about. So,
can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
I think the reason that they want to ban TikTok is
because of this.
There's too much information accessible to people on TikTok.
Oh,
I think 100%. The government is looking at what's on TikTok and they're going, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, this is not supposed to be getting out. Yeah.
No.
I 1,000% agree. That's exactly why they're doing it.
Yeah, spare me the whole, like, the government accounts and all. Like, no. This is why you want to ban TikTok. That's
that,
awesome. Anyway.
and I think the insider trading that's happening amongst people of government. Have you seen that stuff? They're like,
yeah.
Because their trades are public and people are just like, all right, I'll follow your trades and make buco bucks. Anyway, so source from TikTok. Dude, I got to be honest. I watched these. There was 2 videos. I watched them over and over again. You get a little welled up. You get a little welled up there. Zachary Diranowski, who does the MD Motivator account. I'm sure you've seen where he'll go to people and like, hey, will you buy this for $1? Hey, I need money for a bus ticket.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I see that guy all the time.
Yeah. So he goes up on Mother's Day and he goes up to
I saw this.
Yes. A traffic control worker.
Yes.
That works in Detroit. Her name is Lydia. She goes by Edge in the video. And he gives her a shirt and he's like, hey, will you buy this? I think it was like a jersey or a jersey or whatever. Will you buy this for $1? And she's working. She's in her vest. She's in the street. She's greeting people, getting people to walk across the street, stopping traffic, all this stuff, right? And she's like, I will, but I'm literally on my shift. I don't have the ability to, right?
It was a mystery Tigers jersey.
Yeah, there you go. So she's like, I will. I'm in the middle of working, right? And he goes, awesome. Well, thank you so much. And he, as the surprise when people do something nice, he gives the nice back. That's the point of this page. So he's like, would you like to go to the game tonight? She goes, unfortunately, I'm working till like 9-10 o'clock tonight. I won't be able to. Because he asked if she's a Tigers fan. She's like, oh yeah, absolutely. So he goes over to the lieutenant and gets her shift covered, right? And she goes, this is amazing. And she looks at her lieutenant. She goes, are you sure? Is this coming out of my paycheck? She's a single mom. Turns out her husband had just passed away.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And our guy, MD Motivator, hands her $500 cash. And she takes this briefly. You can watch the video. She takes this moment like, is this like, are you serious? Because like this is big. Like this is big for me. And I think people forget that, like, $500 can be life-changing to certain people in certain times. And she starts tearing up, praises Jesus, and then they go to the game, right? She enjoys the game. They're having fun. All this stuff happens. The next day, the Detroit Tigers find this out. So MD Motivator goes back. Hey, I got another surprise for you, right? We're going to the game again. She gets her shift covered again. This time she's on the field. The Detroit Tigers offer her Little Caesars for free for a year, a spa day at a casino, a 2023 Tigers signed jersey, and people of Detroit raised $50,000 for her. So one of the Tigers comes out with her son, her grown son. I think she has a younger son as well. They come out with like this huge check, $50,000. She just drops to her knees. It was Sick. So, job well done on the Tigers. I'm sure that's the social media department that dug this out and found it. I think it's amazing and pretty cool for this MD motivator guy to make this happen. So, just a job well done. I'm telling you. You watch the two videos. You watch the first one of him doing the initial one, and then the Tigers video.
Yeah.
It'll get you a little bit.
I just watched the second one. I hadn't seen that.
And this is all just to celebrate a mother. That's what he was doing. So, yeah. Little fun story right there.
Just find somebody that you can do something nice for today.
There you go.
Great way to end it. I think we pretty much covered everything. It's happened in the last few days. May have missed a thing or two as usual, but that should do it unless you got anything else.
Negatory. Enjoy the weekend.
Have a great weekend.
I love it. Don't go chasing curveballs.
We love you all, and as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.